Hi guys, I'm working on annual 2019 Taroscopes. They're actually lots of fun. They give you lots of insight about every single segment of your life, and it's kind of like divided by quarters. It's divided by section of your life, and it's going to be a really interesting guide. It was really well received last year. So now this is your time to get them one sign for 1995 or all signs. So you can check your ascendant, you can check your moon sign, you can check your friends, you know, somebody that you're like having an eye on for $39.95. It is a really good time to order right now, because the moment when I deliver the first one, the price is going up to $29.95 and to $39.95. So yeah, I invite you to order. Like, the link is down in the description. You can see it, you can go right there, and this is like really good time to take advantage of. So for those of you who are steady subscribers, please, you know, do that. It's great for you, it's great for me to support my channel. And those of you who are here the first time, you can actually check my timelines, and you can see I released them somewhere late in July, so you can see how they look like. Okay guys, so let's start with the reading. Hi Gemini, you're next. What I did get in meditation, the word for you is silence. So let's see where that leads us. So Gemini, for the next 30 days, can you just give me whoa, you're getting a whole bunch of things. Past lives, and then participation and success reversed. But since this is a general flavor, we are going to look at both sides. So let's see over here. Gemini, oh my god, what is the chance? Past lives, past lives. I'm already seeing a theme emerging. New love. Okay, so let me get a few more just to see, to confirm that this is what I think it is. Gemini. Summer solstice radiance. So yeah, I know we left the summer behind us. This is just like simply describing something new, refreshing. Gemini, for the next 30 days, and we got break free. So let me see. And you're probably hearing the recyclable people out there. It's all good. They are doing their job every Wednesday. So where do I start? Break free. So something has been stagnating for you probably in a while. Maybe there is a need for feeling relief from maybe a situation that has been pressing, because it says move away from situations that are not nurturing you. And it does look like Batman, like really, if I have to look into it. And I mean, I know obviously they didn't plan to do that, but that's kind of like how I look. And also we have a butterfly, and we have healing over here. So I really think that we are talking about here that big transportation. Well, maybe transportation, if you need to kind of like move, that's going to be obviously a really good move. And also I really think that if you just like talk about this like Labrace shape, that kind of like is usually associated with not only transformation and rebirth, but it's also a symbol of feminine power, especially in the Eastern Mediterranean. Kind of like they have these, and I don't know, you can see it here, double-headed axes, right, that are wielded by male divinities, and kind of like they appear to symbolize thunderbolt, right? This is to me a card reminding you guys that you're a powerful person. You need to now understand that and draw upon this power to break free from the ties that are binding you, and then move away from situations that are not nurturing you. So it is like very clear over here that you probably wanted to be part of a pack. You wanted to play ball. But somebody was taking that ball away from you time after time after time. And I really think you're like reaching that level, or you reach that level, better to say, where, you know, you said it's enough. And I really think the silence is very positive development over here that I'm getting, because you know what, people talk and people exchange ideas as long as they're interested, as long as they kind of like really want to push each other in a direction. Once when you stop talking, once when you're silent, you're done. Put a fork in you, you are done. Because I'm seeing here summer solstice, you kind of like had somebody or had situation that felt like a stone around your neck. And like this actually, solstice, I believe, is a Latin word, and don't quote me on this, I believe it's solstium, and it means stationary, it means stopped, right? And that's because during a solar year, the sun appears to kind of like rise and set in the same place for several days. So we kind of have this experience in June, and we have this experience in December. So it just like seems like it's stopping, right? In this case, in June in the northern, and in December in the southern hemisphere, it kind of like, it almost like looks like a culmination of the sun travels. The days are going to get shorter from this point on. So this is kind of like moving up stage, right? So you really are right now ready to shine. And even though none of us are here on June 21st, June 22nd when this happens, this is the energy that you're picking up. Just think back on that day, or for those of you Australian Southern Hemisphere, that this is happening around Christmas time for you, that this is the energy that you feel. There is like everything good, sun is shining, right? So focus on everything that you have right now, associating with what is good and what is right. And also, if you can step in the sun even for 5-10 minutes a day, this D vitamin is simply going to kind of take away your worries and your cares. So do something also physically active that's going to stimulate that inner light, right? Inner light is basically confidence. That's how sun reflects in our body. We have that space in between the breastbones and hip bones, which is called solar plexus. So this is our radiance from inside. So dance and sing, but really, really important, go outdoors. It almost like tells me that going outdoors is going to just erase any kind of negative thoughts that maybe, or even habits that are currently stopping you. I really think that this month for you, and it is a big shift happening on the 16th of November, you guys are going to enter a wonderful, wonderful year where marriage is in the cards, big commitments, you're going to have friends and family. It is like something really good. So don't forget to get my annuals, because it's going to be very, very interesting. So now we are getting to this part. When I saw past lives, it is like one of my cards that I really, really love in this Ocho Zen deck. So we are seeing like how many lives have existed before and how many lives are basically going ahead. So each life is a step forward. So I don't know if you subscribe to that school that we live many past lives, but trust me, I do see that in my past lives readings, because I just like, sometimes people, very good people, ask me, well, why is this happening to me? What is going on over here? And I see that they're doing nothing wrong, because in this, like, the life is continuum, and we just like live this tiny little slice, and in this slice you're trying to make sense out of what you have been handed to you, where maybe it was like somewhere down here or down here that we have lived lives that were not so great. And the truth here is like to learn all the aspects, both good and bad. Like, it is one thing observing and saying, I don't want to do that, this is like a bad thing to do, bad girl, bad boy kind of a thing. But another one is to really feel it, so you know in and out how this kind of like really feels, right? And also we see this like hourglass, but we also see female hands over there, right? So that's kind of like that opening of cosmic mother, if you really wish, right? So These are faces from the other times. Maybe somebody's coming your way that is actually going to help you get into this next stage. This is my karma card, and so is this one. You're kind of like drawing two over here, right? So the lizards over here in this deck, in this card, represent knowing and not knowing, right? So they're like guardians of the unconscious. There's like that psychic thing. You might see a bird, you might see a grass, anything, just like something very ordinary, just like sitting outside, and then it's almost going to be a push button. You're going to have the world opening up. Try to do one thing. Don't label things such as this is a cat, this is a table. Try to just like see, no name. You don't know the name. You see that for the first time in your life, and you see how you're going to have this surge. With learning all these things, we are actually creating lots of walls with how we perceive things. So for me to do this job, I really had to unlearn all of it. This is, guys, a wake-up call. The events in your life are trying to show you a pattern that it's kind of like as ancient as your soul journey. There is like clearly something that is going on. So whether it is like talking about this new person, which kind of like looks like for some of you is clearly entering, and for the others of you it seems to be celebration of things that have already been present. It is like, looks like to me that some of you at the very least have been going through a very tumultuous period where, as I said, you wanted to please, you wanted to be one of them, you wanted to kind of like move forward, but you kept kind of like shooting blanks. It was just not getting a reaction, and you're kind of like probably tired of stroking somebody's ego. You were not asking accolades in the situation. You were just saying, wait, let's kind of like participate together, right? We see kind of like these four different hands that are kind of like forming this beautiful flower that is only making sense when things are done together. But if somebody doesn't want to join in, like, what can you do? It just like wouldn't have the flow. And I think it is like coming to understand that things cannot be forced. And if something like this happens, of course, we want what we want. But if things like this happens, it's clear sign that we actually need to just go in a different direction. We need to find a way for us to be on top of the world. Look at this celebration. Look at this success. It is absolutely lovely. So do not let somebody like take your wings, clip your wings, because it sounds to me that this was happening. But also the silence over here, well, this, first of all, this can mean that somebody has been Houdini somebody was like kind of like creating Houdini-like atmosphere where you have been ignored. But this also could mean that you have been ignoring someone, and maybe you just decided to draw the line in the sand and it is like time to move on. If you're the one who have been blocked off by somebody, then this is done for a reason. There is like something that is going to be coming in your life that is going to be very, 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 very important. And like with these two past lives, it is like really talking about these patterns coming to the surface, being let go, and kind of like setting you free. There is like this break free card. There is like this radiance card. So it is almost like shedding the old skin and sort of starting with something else. So let me actually shuffle the cards, and we're going to see what else can we see over here. Sapphire Queen, what a lovely card to get. Look at that. Look at it, like enormous, huge fireworks. So there's like somebody who is like looking at this fireworks set in her honor, and we can see that over here. There's like something that you guys either worked very hard on, or like that you kind of consciously knew where you want to get, or you have been digging yourself out of situation that has been very unpleasant or very kind of like unsavory, right? So keep in mind, this is like action, action queen. There is like somebody who rebels in the hunt, and it's more chase than the kill, so really kitty cat, right? However, she's kind and she's like honorable. So as a mate, there's like somebody who is passionable. So there's clearly saying this either could be you entering like this phase, or this simply could be that there is like somebody coming into your life who is going to energize you. So what is like that sort of like stirs that passion in you? Who is the person who can give you that enthusiasm in life? I really think it's not only that there's like somebody kind, but I also see this like kindred spirit that is going to kind of like continue over here. So it's kind of like being a muse, if you wish, but not only for yourself but also for the others. So let's see. Well, we have the strength, and strength is like really clearly going back to conquering what we have been fighting for, kind of like going through that game of endurance. It looks like odds have been against you, but this is kind of coming in place, and you were resisting some low vibration urges. You were resisting dealing with the situation in a way that maybe ordinarily you would. It was no knee-jerk reaction, and if it was you were seeing the situation from a completely different side. This is a really good card, acknowledging that you're going in a good direction, acknowledging that you just need to keep going. So this is crossed with Sky Tom. This is you guys. There is like this again vigor, and I really want to jump, and and again it is like somebody who is exploring without any regard of, hey, I'm going to flop down, I'm all the way in the clouds kind of a thing. So there is like this huge focus. You're going to you're known for being chatterbox, but this month nothing will stop you. It's going to be a whole bunch of things. You guys getting into like enormous good vibration. It's peak vibration. So it's somebody turn you on. Maybe you put the new batteries in there, and all of a sudden the Energizer Bunny keeps on going. So Four of Sky. So what was the base? The base was that maybe you need a shelter. Look at those beautiful lavender fields. So lavender's really good for moths, and moths get burned when they go close to the light. So maybe you have been dabbling with a situation that in the end ended up feeling burnt. But also lavender is like a beautiful remedy for sleep, and you needed to kind of like take time for yourself and have this refreshing energy and have that sleep energy kind of coming through. So there is like, right, that vitality that I am reading, underlining kind of thing. It was a phase. You had a block of time that things were not lining up. But what you're not realizing, that even though maybe it looked like you were not getting anywhere, you have been making huge steps, not steps, let me take this back, leaps forward. So the past, Ace of Sky, very good for an air sign. So Ace of Sky is like that victory. It is kind of like declaration. I really think that some of you shed the, you know, like how we already have kind of like how we operate, how we behave, personality is called. And I really think you're stepping into something that is like so big. And I don't know if you can see it here. See this like really dot, which is, it's actually a bird. So it is like that freedom. It is like that breaking free. Like it has been a situation that felt very constraining, whatever it is, whether you are a mother with having like children, like taking over your life, or somebody was like ruling your relationship, or family issues. You changed how you behave toward them. You kind of like had enough. It was boiling point, and no more, no way anymore. You're kind of getting complete clarity about that. For doing that, two things had to happen. One, changing certain parts of yourself. So that probably relates back to that participation. Hey, if you don't want to play, that's too bad. I can help you in this way, and I can help you in this way. But if you get out of it, I'm sorry, you'll have to find your own solution. So it's kind of like more mature and more kind of like a funneled way of thinking. And also, you realize in yourself the things you have been doing didn't get you anywhere. So now you're finding this pragmatic thing. You are not losing on your kindness. Like, kindness is still there, obviously. Let's take her out. She's like over here. But you're kind of like realizing that there is like a different format in which you really want to express things. So what is about you? We have sky kittens. So now we have the sky and sky and sky. This is a little bit of a spying energy. There is like somebody also losing themselves, ribbons kind of a thing. And I play this game with Safi every night and every morning when I wake up. Like, she's like sitting on my chest, staring at me and waiting for her toy. This is kind of like that exuberant energy which you're coming into. Maybe you still are looking for some kind of answers, because both of these cards have tendency to be on point, and that's why people kind of like sometimes have issues with us air signs. But air signs are the ones who are kind of like breaking the gates and the doors open and taking all down, because we are trying to have this kind of like sorting things out and making sense out of them. And many years, not to say centuries, we thought, well, science is one side, religion is on the other side. Now we're realizing, okay, maybe organized religion is one thing, but there is like such a thing as spirituality. And science and spirituality seems like on many seams are kind of like in harmony. And it is kind of like really that realization that air signs are pushing it forward. There is like this interesting merge of this, because look at how many you have like fire and air, the energy, and you have a fire here. The energy is like really high. There is like a feeling of a new stability. There is a feeling that, hey, you know, I kind of like am moving forward. I'm so beautiful. This breaking free, it's kind of like going from that cocoon to a beautiful butterfly. So getting out of that cocoon is like really not easy, and it is same as kind of like when the plant has to kind of like come to basically the face of this planet. So let's see what is immediate. And you have Three of Fire. This is really lovely. Three of Fire always talks about our new intentions. Contrary to popular belief, one is not the starting point in tarot. It is actually three. And interestingly enough, the starting point is feminine energy. It is like something that you need to kind of like think through, plan. You need to kind of like find kind of like your own explanations to who are the people there for you. Because we have this like four, right? Right here, Four of Fire. Who is participating in your life? Are people just there because they can use something from you? Are they there when you need them, or they're only there when they need you? Is there a balance in that exchange? Three of Fire to me talks about, look at her. You know that she wants to jump somewhere, right? Everything here tells you. So it is just a matter of moment, because that decision has been made in a two-stage. Now it is just like kind of like mulling it over, how safe it is, and do I really want to be around these people? So it is kind of a situation you'll be going through. Who is my friend? Who is my family? And I don't talk about blood relatives, I talk about family, like people you meet on Facebook, people you meet on Instagram, people you communicate on forums. If you come on live, like there is like a really nice family every Saturday morning at 11 a.m. EST. And you can see that people actually come there, and they know that other people will understand and be nourishing. There is like this huge positioning that is this huge shift. It's almost like you have been going there and there and there and there and has been dark. And now you're saying, okay, why do I keep doing that? And let me try something else. And then all of a sudden you're seeing that light. And I think that light that you have been seeing last month now is like phew, full blast. You're out of the tunnel. Oh my gosh, you have a Sea Queen. Lots of feminine energy. So even if you're a guy, it's going to be really good, because this is the energy that attracts. Masculine energy we are not in the 16th century anymore. It doesn't work. That alpha male thing maybe works if you need to survive in the nature. But when it comes to relationship, what is really needed is like a combination of these two. It is combination of, hey, you know, let's do something, because like this is like go, go, go energy, kind of like being very, very active, with somebody who is kind and giving and loving and willing to listen. And this is literally who is you this period of time. So this could be somebody kind of like pushing you into that energy where you're exchanging things, you're doing things together. Because I see that actually as two different people, but definitely it's going to rub off on you. Somebody coming into your life with high enthusiasm, with like literally like erasing everything that has been happening, that has been sort of like a stumbling block in your life. So that new life and new love, which is like most important. So it is kind of like, it could be somebody younger though, that is like possible, but it definitely is going to be somebody who is going to be able to hold their own. So let's see your environment. Oh my gosh, you have another ace, and this is Ace of C. So it's also a really good combination. So we are talking about new beginnings. So Ace of C to me really talks about that a new partner, which is now clear that you have made some decisions how you will react in relationships. I really think what you have decided that you will need a certain level of freedom. You will need a certain level of trust. So it's not going to be kind of like too much pressure too soon. It's going to be, let's see where this goes. This kind of like more or less would be let's exchange ideas and see if we kind of like think about the major goals together. And at the same time doing things together, getting to know each other, and there is like this loving and flirting really energy. So this person actually could be very committed oriented as well, so it's all good. And as I said, your simply kind of like litmus test is going to be, are you participating in my life, or are you taking away from my life? It is going to be clearly you stay and you go. So this sometimes can talk about other people from the past reappearing, and hello Mercury retrograde, I guess, which is also happening on the 16th. This also could happen that there's like somebody brand new, because let's not forget that you have this brand new, but this person is going to have so many parallels with somebody from the past. So as I said, a new person, an old person in a new body. So there is like still maybe something that needs to be resolved, but it's giving you now ability to look at it from a completely different standpoint. So let's see your hopes and fears, and you have Six of Earth. And this is exactly going along this thing. Are you in, are you out? So now we have the two sixes. There's like definitely that soulmate energy. I'm so glad that I see this reading, because you know that I'm a reader, that I will tell you what I see. I will not try to sugarcoat. Yes, of course I'm going to try to render it as soft as possible, but if I see mess, if I see this, I prefer to tell you guys you need to clean your mess, and if you don't clean it, like things will fester, versus oh everything will be fine, and then it isn't fine. But maybe for a moment you felt good, but what did you really implement? So just like I tell you, oh, you know what, we don't have to clean this one, you'll be fine, and then you basically you die because of infection. Isn't it better to say, well, oh my gosh, this is scary, you better do something about it? That's kind of like a different approach. This card here, and I love like this little bench chair. I have one of them, and Safi is sleeping on them. I just like love them. Here is like about this bringing other people in. Being willing to share. I have a feeling that you have tried to share in the past, and it was going sort of like this give and share. You were giving and they were taking. That's kind of like how the system worked. And now you're realizing, you know what, I'm going to let people in my space as long as I feel comfortable, because look at this, the kitty here is inviting not only the female cat, but also her kittens, saying, and there is enough for everybody, there is enough, please do take it. And on top of that, like, you get, like, a head lick. So this is really talking about not feeling shortage of anything. So you're going to feel, as I said, successful. You're not going to feel that you have to pat somebody's back, that you have to stroke somebody's ego, that you have to go through the motions, which is like so tiring. You feel that maybe in your previous approaches you have been very inauthentic, that you were kind of like twisting yourself and turning and kind of like getting into situations which kind of like were not beneficial for you. And what is the last one for a fire? Well, there we go. It was also reversed. We are getting this again together. This is one of those few cards in tarot that is good both upright and reversed, just like the sun that you have this. So like, you're getting 2 out of 2. This is really talking about what do we do next? How do we move forward next? There's like never a question of I'm doing it on my own. So if somebody doesn't want to do it, you just like really know that, hey, life is short, and I really tried. I talked to you, I was depressed, maybe you didn't come to kind of like nourish me, and I'm getting it now. It was a lesson to learn. It was a lesson that maybe I shouldn't be surprised with situations like that. People are people. They'll continue dealing with this. I have to be strong. I have to be radiant. And I'm not going to allow anybody to take that away from me. So that is kind of like really important. Okay, my dears, let me clarify a few things. I don't have much to clarify. Everything is like so positive. Okay, this was reversed. So let me clarify this card because it came in twice. So let me see what is this referring to. And you got a whole bunch of cards. So you got a sweetheart and you got service. And I'm not taking a whole bunch of other cards, but I'm going to take one more just to get kind of clarify. Just like 4 of Wands. There we go. And it is reunion. It was reversed. So this is really clear. You know what you want. You know what serves you. You also understand that this is not about being prima donna, somebody keeping your doors open. This is more about, hey, you know what? I deserve this. I deserve to be treated like very respectfully. And if in a relationship I'm not being put on a pedestal, and especially for the new relationship, especially somebody new, then what's the point? What's the reason for going that? So I guess you're going to be measuring possibly a new person against your old partners, or you're going to be measuring if the old person is coming back, if they've really changed. And it could be that this old partner is here sneaking and spying, especially if this person is younger. But there are like options, guys, that you have. This also could mean you, but it could mean it's going to this energy with somebody you'll be engaging and bubbly and talkative. So it is like really interesting because you will appear the same to the other people, but you're going to be very different. You're going to be actually the one who will be setting the rules and who will be actually doing things your way. So silence. Silence is possibly that space in between the words. It is like that space in between the actions. Maybe you're understanding right now that there is like that vacuum that exists. So many words have been spoken in the past. Did those words kind of like accomplish anything? Or should you just kind of go into that silent space, which actually brought you so many conclusions and so many understandings about something? You, with this card, past life relationships, you are kind of drawing upon that psychic energy that is helping you to kind of like almost like open up and kind of like feel this kind of rebirth, if you wish, and almost like getting like the new lease on life, new lease on love, new lease on how you're dealing with people. You're not going to feel guilty anymore if you say no, and you're not going to even worry if you're the one who is being told no, because you're going to realize, wow, you know, life is beautiful. I am betting on me. I am kind of like pushing myself in a good direction. So nothing will stop you guys sharing nurturing, kindness. You're going to be giving all of that, but also you'll be receiving all of that. So let me take a card for you for advice for the reading, and you're getting rock bottom. Oh, this is a good card to get. It was reversed, and I know it doesn't sound sexy, but trust me, it is good. So, reversed. This card is the symbol for addiction in all forms, subtle or obvious. Doing the same thing over and over again and expecting different results will never provide you with what you desire. At this moment, like, you might be feeling there's nowhere else to go, but you have to realize the only way to go now is up. If what you feared was change, be willing to change. Surrender your wants to a higher power. Ask for truth and allow humility to be your guiding force from within. You will always get what you need. You're only a victim of your perceptions. Take heart, because you can't sink any further. The only way to go from here, as I said, it's up, and wondrous things await you. So guys, you are digging yourself from somewhere, and unlike most of us, we just kind of like go, let me rest here, and then just like go to the next stage. You're out. You're out of this tunnel. There is like completely new fresh things, new life, new love. Enjoy, my Gemini. And of course, if you want a reading with me, if you are getting this air sign, water sign, or fire sign coming toward you, I want to know about it in the comments. So please share, like, and subscribe. And until the next time, you guys know that I love you. All the best.